I'll tell you the truth, neighbor. The night she told me to leave the ER waiting room, something old and stubborn in me woke up, the same grit I felt the day the HOA tried to yank my father's flag. I was in my work boots, scrubs under a flannel because I'd run out of clean coats. Coffee cooling in my hands like a little campfire. Past midnight. Rain hissing on the ambulance bay, fluorescents humming that nervous tune that makes everyone feel exposed. I was off shift in paper. A multi-car pileup changed that. I came in early to help the team. She breezed in like she owned the play-sharp heels on tile. A perfume cloud that didn't belong near oxygen lines. HOA president posture. Chin up, shoulders tight. Eyes hunting for rule breakers. I know that stance from neighborhood meetings and pastry trays. You can smell entitlement through hospital disinfectant. She looked at my muddy boots, the flannel, the coffee, narrowed her eyes. Sir, she announced, loud enough for the room. This is for patients and families. You can't loiter here. I took a breath. Ma'am, I'm where I need to be. I doubt that. She tapped the sign. With a manicured nail, visitors must check in. Rules are rules. You're taking up space. Behind her, a young woman hugged a blanket, shaking with quiet tears. An older man stared at a scuffed patch of floor like it might open and swallow him. Waiting rooms teach you who you are, who falls apart, who holds a stranger's hand, who demands the world bend. I've watched it for 20 years, ma'am, I said softer. Folks need quiet. Let's keep our voices low. I let her fuse. Don't you, ma'am, me? Where are your papers? Do you even belong here? Belong. Funny word. My father used to say, it isn't given, it's earned in small, steady ways. He taught me on our porch under the big oak, in a town that remembers who tilled the soil before them. He'd nod at our old barn, refold the flag at sundown, and say, if you're called to show up, you show up. I stood. She stepped closer, lips tight. Security, she snapped to the clerk. Get this man out. He's making people uncomfortable. The clerk knew me, but she was new on nights and didn't know which hills to die on. I raised a palm. It's all right, I told her. I won't make trouble. Inside, anger popped like dry cedar. Not wild, just the disciplined spark you feel when someone walks into your living room and tells you to get off your own couch. I could have pulled rank and ended it right there. But power thrown too soon becomes another emergency. She's right, the woman said, warming to her audience. Hospitals need order. If he won't respect the rules, he can wait outside. The paramedic doors slid open with a soft sigh. From the trauma bay, I heard my name mergent clipped. Dr. Walker, we need you. Now. The room shifted like wind before a storm. The clerk straightened. The crying girl looked up. The older man finally lifted his eyes. Doctor. The woman said like the word had betrayed her. Yes, ma'am. Set my coffee on the side table. Head of trauma surgery. On call or not, this is my house tonight. Her mouth opened, then closed. Pride yanks the rug fast. I kept my tone neighborly. You're worried. I get it. But respect is rule one in rooms like this. For staff. For families. For yourself. I didn't know, she said, color rising. Now you do. The overhead speaker crackled, trauma code inbound. I pushed through the doors. In the bay blood and diesel, wheels squeak, and monitors, the raw music of the work. My father's flag wasn't over the doorway, but I thought of it anyway. Belonging isn't an outfit or a tone. Belonging is service. We cracked the first chest in 2 minutes. Hands steady. Team humming like a well-oiled engine. The nurse at my elbow whispered, "She really tried to throw you out?" "She tried," I said. Life tried harder. Even through the doors, I could feel the waiting room's eyes. Small towns spread word faster than the elevator. By dawn, folks would know. Not because I'd tell them, but because rooms like that carry memory. Sometimes the lesson arrives on heels. Asterisk, at 1:13 a.m., the second wave hit, 2 more ambulances. A kid in a neck brace. a gray-faced man fighting to stay awake. We split the team, turned a conference room into overflow, and kept the rhythm. Assess, decide, act. That's the song. Between cases, I went back to speak with a mother about her son's scans. The woman from earlier, let's call her Karen because it saves time paced like a wind-up metronome. She cornered staff with rapid-fire questions. Why are the doors closed? Why is he taking so long? Why didn't the nurse answer me first? The clerk caught my eye. I nodded. Calm water. Steady, or... I crouched to the mother's eye level. Your boy's awake, I said. Broken collarbone, hairline rib fracture. We'll observe him, but no internal bleeding. You did right bringing him in fast. She sagged with relief and squeezed my hand. Gratitude like that carries you through a month of cold nights. Karen cut in voice back to broadcast volume. Finally, explain why my neighbor was seen before me. We arrived first. I have a right, ma'am, I said gently. Triage is by severity, not arrival time. The man before you had chest pain and a history. We treat what can kill first. Don't lecture me, she snapped. I'm our HOA president. I know how to prioritize. Let a small smile live. Then we start with life safety. It's ridiculous, she said. I want the administrator. And I want you written up for. Unprofessionalism? Which part? I kept my tone Sunday morning soft. The part where we saved a teenager's spleen, or the part where I asked for quiet? Her cheeks flared. People were listening. I refused to make sport of her. Pride confuses humiliation with justice. I wasn't there to feed it. I was there to protect the room. Security, she called, sharp as a whistle. This man is confrontational. To security officers, both veterans came over with the slow confidence of men who can lift refrigerators. They nodded to me first. Evening, Doc. Evening, fellas. We're fine, I said. Just a misunderstanding. We are not fine, she barked. He embarrassed me. I demand, ma'am, the taller guard said. Please lower your voice. Folks are having a rough night? Don't you dare. She reached for my sleeve. I stepped back. Not angry, just firm, the way you get when a dog noses the steak. Hands off, I said. Hospital policy. Plain courtesy. She froze. Something in my tone reminded her there's a line. The guards widened their stance. This is harassment, she sputtered. No, ma'am, the shorter one said. This is us keeping order so doctors can work. If you can't respect that, we'll escort you out to cool off. You're welcome back when you're ready to follow instructions. The room went snow quiet. She looked for allies and found only tired people clinging to hope. Entitlement hates quiet. It forces you to hear yourself. You'll regret this, she hissed at me. People know me. I hope they know you're safe, I said, and meant it. We all want the same thing. She squared up and made her choice. Fine, I'm leaving. But I'm filing a complaint. That's your right. They flanked her, no hands, just guiding the air, and walked her through the automatic doors. The rain had moved on. The night smelled like wet asphalt, second chances, and diesel. As the doors closed, the older man finally spoke. Doc, he said, thanks. My throat tightened for a beat. I've been called a lot of things, but Doc from a stranger who needed calm more than medicine, that's the one that sticks. Over time, you learn leadership is 9 parts atmosphere, 1 part orders. You set the weather and hope the storm respects it. Back in the bay, we rolled a battered kid from the crash. This one's ours, I told the residents. We moved like one body intubate. Scan, stabilize. The line between anger and focus is thin. I walked it like a fence rail. When I checked the waiting room again, conversations were lower, fear contained. The clerk gave me a thumbs up. The clock said 2:07 a.m., but it might as well have said keep going. I texted my wife. Long night, be home late. She sent a heart and a coffee cup. On our porch, the flag would be sleeping in the dark, waiting for first light. I heard my father in my head show up, stand steady. Servan felt the spark inside settle into purpose. First, pink light slid under the clouds as the floor quieted to the soft clatter of breakfast trays. I finally drank what used to be coffee and had turned into cold courage. Carol, the night nurse who's been here as long as I have, set a fresh cup in my hand without a word. Friendship, in a place like this, is hot coffee and quiet. I made rounds, checked scans, signed 3 discharges, gave a 4th family the news no one wants. We stood in a tiny consultation room where the clock refuses to move. We cried together. I told them what we tried, what we did, and what I believe about mercy. My voice didn't shake until the hallway. I leaned on the wall for 5 breaths, my father's trick. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Find the ground. Then I straightened. More to do. When I stepped back into the waiting room, she was there, currant hair damp, jacket speckled with rain. No guards, no audience. Just early morning quiet and a vending machine pretending to be friendly. She stood when she saw me. I braced for round 2. Doctor, she said, and the word sounded different. Smaller, truer. I came to apologize. I let the silence do its job. Sometimes people need to hear their own feet on the floor. I was scared, she said. My sister had chest pains last month. I thought it was happening to me. I needed to control something, and I tried to control you. Fear wears bossiness like a borrowed coat. I nodded. Are you all right? Do you still need to be seen? Triage did an EKG, she said, glancing toward the desk. It's anxiety. That's real, I said. It doesn't feel fine. I'm not proud of last night. Pride's tricky, I said with a small smile. It tells us we're protecting ourselves when we're just building fences where gates should be. She looked at my boots. I shouldn't have judged you by your clothes. Shouldn't have enjoyed proving you wrong, I said. We're even. She let out a surprised laugh, then nodded. I run our HOA, she admitted, almost sheepish. I tell myself I'm protecting property values. But maybe I'm just scared of losing control. Property's easy to measure, I said. Dignity's hard and worth more. She took a breath. Last night you looked at me like I could make a better choice. That made me angrier than it helped. I learned that from my dad, I said. He'd refold the flag if it touched the port, invite the neighbor for coffee after a fight. Rules without relationship are just noise. She glanced at my cup. Does that invitation extend to me? In this building? I said. It extends to everyone, she said. I told her the shape of the night, no names. She listened. When tears came, she didn't hide them. I thought leadership was getting people to follow rules, she said. Maybe it's creating a place where people want to be kind. It's closer, I said. Around here, leadership is making sure the scared kid with the broken ribs sees a calm adult first. Thank you, she said, for not rubbing my face in it. Everyone gets a morning after, I said. Might as well make it count. On my way out, I thanked the clerk for riding the storm. The older man was gone. The girl with the blanket was finally asleep. The sun nosed over the parking lot, painting the wet asphalt in several shades of forgiveness. At home, I folded onto the porch steps with fresh coffee. The flag lifted and settled like it was breathing with me. My wife cracked the screen door and leaned her head on my shoulder. The neighborhood woke sprinklers ticking, a dog chewing out the same squirrel, a truck rolling off to a long day. Long night? She asked. Long, I said. Good. What happened? I gave her the short version. She rubbed my back the way she's done since we were 22 and broke and happy. Proud of you, she said. I looked over the yard, the oak, the fence I replaced plank by plank, the porch I sanded with my boy last summer, and felt the kind of tired that makes you grateful to be exactly where you are. Belonging isn't a sign on a wall or a title on a badge. It's 1,000 small choices to show up steady and respectful, even when someone tries to push you out of the room. Before I went in to shower and do it again, I thought about what the night taught me. Not medicine people. Fear dressed as authority. Authority humbled into service. How a waiting room becomes a neighborhood when someone sets the weather. Sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is stay planted. Speak gently, and let the truth do the heavy lifting. Ever had someone throw their weight around? At a hospital? An HOA office? Or your own front yard? Share your story in the comments. I read everyone. If you believe some fights are worth having, respectfully and steadily hit subscribe. Let's stand up together.